Good morning, everyone. It's Lindsey Huddleston back in the building with another SPS Monday Motivation. Hope you had a great weekend. I had a great one indeed. Saturday, spent time with my daughter, and we were together over at Desmond Ferguson's Moneyball Tip-Off Classic. 6 great games, very entertaining. There was a medical scare for a young man that we're praying is doing much better. Mario over at Sexton, so we're wishing good health to him. But the community came out in full, and I was happy to be able to share that experience with my daughter. Some interviews to come. And here we are with another day. But as always stated, my Monday motivations either come from the headlines or come from personal experience. And something as simple as me driving one day. I think I was headed to a Tom Izzo press conference on campus. I live just a few minutes away, and I remember getting on campus. Didn't go the normal route I normally did, and I ended up pulling up behind a student on a scooter, and somebody was driving their vehicle, and I was seeing this kind of movement between both of them trying to get to where they need to go. The scooter finally found their lane, and the vehicle did too. And it instantly prompted the thought, finding your lane, how important it is, and almost how crucial it can be, life or death. When you talk about a normal-sized vehicle and somebody on a scooter, that scooter's going to have to give way to the vehicle every time, despite being in the right or whatnot. It's just the vehicle is bigger and stronger. I also remember when I worked in Governor Granholm's administration, some of my friends and colleagues who may be on this feed who remember the term, stay in your lane. Ooh, and that was really a vicious statement to make to someone within the culture of the governor's office. It meant that you were doing too much, you were out the way. So even hearing that term now today kind of makes me think back. But I saw some great information when I started doing some research. When I pulled up the title, to get a little bit more background information, some evidence-based things, it was in this article, The Mental Health Benefits of Staying in Your Lane, that really struck me. And it was by a young lady, African-American female, Jasmine Belvin. And her background is worth mentioning. Licensed mental health counselor in the state of New York and licensed professional counselor in the state of Virginia. She received her bachelor's in psychology and a minor in human services from Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia. And shortly after that, she relocated to New York and received her master's in counseling and mental health and wellness at NYU. Very impressive young lady, doing some great things. And when I did some more research, these are her words, not mine, that I want to be able to acknowledge. She talked about we all at one time or another have not stayed in our own lane. Maybe you got caught up in the comparison and wonder why someone else's life looks so perfect and yours doesn't. That happens all the time. Whether it's the work that I do on social media and the growth that I've been having over time. A lot of people have been with me. A lot of people have been following me, and they recognize that growth. Or just, in what you're doing professionally, how you run into someone. What's the question people are going to ask 90% of the time? What are you doing? What do you do? What's going on? Especially with these office parties and holiday parties going up. Oh, got my mom, number one fan in the building. Good morning, son. Good morning, mother. How are you? You were right again on something. I'll tell you about that when we talk later. My mother has so much wisdom. She'd be dropping wisdom on me, man, and be dropping bars, as they say, right? Talking about finding your lane. And Jasmine also goes on to say with social media, it can be difficult to focus on yourself and stay in your lane when most people's lives are right front and center. Somebody's always posting something. I'm part of that. I say this is part of the work that I do. I want to shout out my sponsors who support me, Cameron Bell, Esquire over at the Oliver Law Group. And I'm going to be announcing another great sponsor coming on board today. Later on today, we'll talk about that. But you generally are those are just glimpses of what people are going through. I don't try to look perfect on social media. I think part of what my social media presence is about is recognizing the imperfection that we all have. And hopefully I can be someone who can help and encourage people going through it. But Jasmine says some important things go with that. When you do find your lane, it saves you energy. I can believe that. It saves you energy from being so worried about what the next person is doing or what they've shown you or what they've seen, even if it's even accurate. It saves you physical energy. It saves you emotional energy where you can just focus on you. And I'm using myself as being at a point with SPS that SPS has been growing, because it's been a constant. And I always tell people, and I repeat this, find something you're passionate about. And when you start doing that, with passion, the profits will come, but more importantly, you'll be able to go and have an impact in the way that you feel you need to. I got Michelle Mimi Walker's in the building. Good morning. Good morning to you. So good to see you this morning. I appreciate all your support. Got my mom, got Michelle, got people who hold me down. Michelle's been such a great supporter for the platform the whole way through. What else can we talk about doing that helps you when you find your lane? All allows you to focus more on your priorities. Yeah, you can see other people and what they have going on. But when you find your lane, you automatically know what's most important to you. I can go through right now and tell you the things that I'm working on, the next things that I have. Hell, and for some cases, sometimes my biggest priority is getting some rest. After a big, long day like I had at the Moneyball event or just a couple weeks ago with Horatio Williams, the most important thing for me the next day is just to chill, just to relax. Now, there was a time where I felt that I needed to just scramble to get everything done because I may have been directly or indirectly feeling I was competing with somebody else. But I'm at a point now I'm competing with myself. People may add their comments and say what they feel, and they have this whole idea about how you go about something. But staying in my lane allows me to focus on my priorities, which is my health, which is my daughter, which is my education, which is all these other things. And that's really helped me a great deal. Also, staying in your lane prompts other people to stay in their lane. Now, that's interesting because, by you doing you, people can kind of fall back and do them. It's not like you're trying to be a community service to the community as it relates to that, but by you doing your thing, people kind of fall back and recognize what their lane is. That's important. I can appreciate that too. Also, staying in your lane, by finding your lane, you improve the relationship with yourself. You can have more peace within. You can say, Lindsay, I'm happy with the progress that I'm making as I'm having this conversation with self. Feel good about yourself, because so many times we come down on ourselves and feel that we're not where we're supposed to be. Albeit, I'm not where I'm supposed to be right now. Well, you are where you at. Nah, you can say you're not where you're supposed to be, and you can say you're your biggest critic. I've been that myself, but also too sometimes come a point where you got to have perspective and breathe, and also be grateful for the point where you are. You may have these expectations, and you shouldn't set a standard for yourself, but you are where you are based on what life is and what other things you had to address and deal with. And obviously, you can improve your relationship with others. I shouldn't say obviously, but that's a good thing to understand, because you have a better understanding of who you are and where you are at. In most cases, how people are is based on what they have to go through. But if you're at peace with yourself, if you have a perspective, that can help how relationships change all the way around. It can change expectations that others may have of you, and the expectations you have of yourself, because you're just at peace with what's going on, and you improve those relationships with others. So there's some great information that can help you going forward and finding your lane. I always talk about this time. We went through Thanksgiving where you're around family. Now we're getting into the holiday season. I've already been to an office holiday party with an organization, and you see people you haven't seen, and God bless them. All they want to know, what you doing now? What's going on? I was like, dude, if I tried to tell you in an instant, we'd be here all day. And to be honest, that's not what I'm really here to talk about. I'm fortunate to be at a point in my life where I don't have to lead with what I'm doing. The conversation I like to have with people is, what do you like to do? How are you enjoying yourself? I mean, that's really more of a positive mental health conversation to have with someone. And it may confuse them because they're so used to being able to say, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. But saying, man, how you doing? Are you enjoying what's going on in your life? What are you doing that you enjoy? They may love that they're into painting. They're into photography now. There may be something going on with their family they want to talk about. That's where they're really at. That's where their heart really is. That's really a proper representation of who they are, because a job can just be a title that they have to finance their dreams. And if people are still caught up in titles and all that, hey, God bless you, man. I walked away from corporate America and that title a long time ago. Unfortunately, I'm at a point now where I got to say, and I haven't said this publicly, what I was doing in corporate America, short of those big bonuses, I'm doing well with now. And I was doing really well in corporate America. And that's just an awakening that I've had. But this is me living a life that I want. I mean, just the other day, I got up and I said, you know what? Everything that I get up to do in the morning, and that compensates me, I'm able to enjoy and do, and it's about impacting others. And it took a while to get to that point, but I'm happy to say that. And I will want that for you. Whether it's your job, whether it's your relationship, whether it's just your perspective, I would want you to be able to say, every time I get up in the morning, I love what I do. It's having a great impact on others. Tamara, good morning. The Army-Navy game just went down. We're sending the best to Teddy. Grand Ledge also had a victory against Saginaw as well in the Moneyball tip-off class. So of course, we're thinking of Teddy and you guys as well. I know you were out there enjoying all that, but I appreciate your support. But hey, be able to be at that point, and maybe that's what we want to work on. That's what we want to strive through. As this came up again, you improve your relationship with others, but more importantly, you improve your relationship with yourself. So I'm going to get ready to wrap up, guys. I want you to go and have a great day, have a great week, have a great month, have a great year. Let's get into the holiday season. Things are different. Be vigilant. I teach my daughter, hey, especially around the holiday season, you want to pay attention to what's going on, be aware, and also know people are going through things. So try to be the best version of yourself, and maybe that can have a positive impact on others. So with that being said, this is Lindsay Ellis on SPS. We'll see you next time. Peace.